because we think it's such a strong hero that it doesn't matter what kind of counters you pick up, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
Much like the EG Lifestealer that they had. So maybe Lifestealer is a hero like that. Maybe Lina is a hero like that, but we just don't know yet until we have enough games.
Well, let's see if the bans don't change. So they're not going to let them have the Magnus. So they're not that scared of the Lina Monkey King owner. Do you see IG just going back for it, Kevin?
I think it's safe to do, yeah. I'm sure EG will maybe have a better response in mind. Maybe prioritize a safer Arteezy hero earlier. That way they don't get forced into this like Klink's hero that, you know, on paper could work, but definitely sucks when you get ganked that much.
You think IG might let them have the Lifestealer?
That one's a little tough here. Is EG getting first pick? I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
think they would definitely take it if they can.
All right. Well, they're not going to let them have it.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of it's like what happens if you leave Lifestealer and Monkey King out there. Because if you ban the Lifestealer, I think now maybe EG picks up the Monkey King. I'm not so sure, right? Yeah, no, I think EG are strong with the Monkey King, and IG is stronger with it, so it might be worth the first pickup.
Let's see whether they decide Zai is going to have some fun.
Quite a few options. Yeah, basically Monkey King. They could go maybe Lina opening, but that maybe it's a bit weak for your first pick.
You can do a broader opener and do just like a Coddle, which again is going to threaten the Monkey King potential pickup by IG.
I feel like they get Coddle no matter what, though. After the response, I don't think IG will pick it, so I don't think you open with it. I feel like there's got to be something that's seen as good. Centaur still in the game, that could be their opener. Actually, I think that would be decent.
And have opened with it before.
That is one way to kill trees, Paul. Get that Aghanim Scepter and just run them all over.
Yep. Destroy the trees. Or you can just go with a very safe Earth Spirit.
I like that. Gives them roaming potential, covers tons and tons of bases. Doesn't it's like the Coddle pick we talked about, but safer in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I would agree. There's no 4 position that you want more than Earth Spirit, I think. Earth Spirit is like, he's very unique because his range of initiation is so long that he can go straight through the lane.
Well, if you're not going to ban it, we're going to take it.
Yep, safe picks here. EG knew that was coming, obviously. Just because they had first pick, they had to pick something that was neutral in case they diced it up. So now they have to decide, well, we got this hero last time. We're against those heroes again.
How do we do
what do we do wrong? What was the drafting here? Was it the lack of Nyx Assassin ban in the second phase? I think that hero was instrumental towards setting up a lot of ganks. And obviously Spec was included in that, but that's not something you'd worry about just yet. So
I think EG wanted a more active offlaner than they had last time. They banned away the Aban themselves this time around. I think they want a more active hero like the Nyx Assassin is one that would actually match up against the Lina. I think scouting heroes are good versus Monkey King, as well as very active.
Ooh, Universe really not feeling. That was a lot of good emotion. That was the most emotion I've ever seen from Universe, I think. He's really not sure about his draft right now. He's definitely turning something over in his mind. I don't know if you guys caught it before, but he was very unsure. And that's kind of how I feel looking at Phoenix too. We saw him picked up by Liquid, I believe, day 1 maybe, and it just was so mediocre. But
it's had a couple of buffs as well, hasn't it?
A lot of talent tree buffs, but that doesn't mean that his laning stage is still not awful. And that's kind of the issue. The hero needs levels. The cooldown on your skills are massive. You can't properly zone the offlaner by yourself unless you're like level 3 before you start putting some effort into it or have allies.
Somebody's still pretty strong though.
That's what I've heard. I haven't played the hero in forever, but I mean the hero's definitely good team fight wise. I don't know if it's great against Monkey King either in matchups. I guess you can reduce his attack speed, which is kind of cool because it prevents Jingu Mastery from maxing out, but you still have low armor, still have big cooldown issues. Regen issues. It's gonna be a bit of an issue, but maybe EG's kind of looking at this how they almost got back in the game last game.
Okay, I was gonna say Dusa. You banned the Dusa. Dusa Phoenix strategy. I think EG when they see this Monkey King Lina, the same opener, right? They're gonna change their playstyle, and I think the way to deal with this hyper aggressive is you play more of a let's say an NP or OG style, a lot more defensive and reactive. So you pick up this like Phoenix, a very defensive support in nature, and you get a core that is like, I really like Dusa in this regard, that is very tanky, won't be susceptible to the burst damage, and does have that sort of like, I stand in front of a tower, you're not going to be able to push it down, and it gives you the team fight mechanism, a cute mechanic between Dusa and Phoenix. where it's just you have that Stone Gaze and the ultimate Supernova go off, and they can't hit the egg.
Yeah, it would have been really effective.
Ooh.
So, but because EG picks the Phoenix, it was the most obvious thing ever. Maybe a mistake to grab it there.
I agree.
Versus the opposite, they could have gone Phoenix, Dusa maybe, but definitely safer to go Phoenix just in case. Because if you grab Dusa there and then they counterpick you or something, then you're stuck with the Dusa.
Or just pick something completely different there and wait for a second phase.
Yeah. I like the Earthshaker with Earth Spirit though. It's 2 AoE line stuns. If they try to kill eggs, it's a good way to make it defensive without needing a Dusa.
Yeah, I think this was one of the few Clockwork or Earthshaker games. You needed a solid initiator. The only reason Clockwork is ever a potential pickup is very hero matchup based, and it's like Centaur, Lina. Those heroes are, even Monkey King, susceptible to Clock. You needed a disruptive offlaner that gives you initiation, because you can't just let this IG team run at you constantly and just play defensive and play for time. At some point in time, you have to punish them for pushing into you and being aggressive, and a really solid initiator is what will allow that to happen.
I do really like the Sun pick though. Once he gets a Blink Dagger, it's going to be the Nyx setup that IG had last game basically. So, and better in laning than a Nyx is, and there he's up against a Phoenix. So I think the Centaur pick here definitely puts EG in a weird position. Even though EG's heroes fit together well, I just don't feel like the lanes are looking so hot for them right now.
Seems to have confused IG as well. Some of the facial expressions after that pick were quite fun.
They're probably thinking about what kind of heroes EG could even run to fit this lineup together anymore, because they banned away really good heroes. Naga, Siren, and Dusa, I think, are some of the best stalling heroes right now. The Alchemist was already banned away in the first one too, so there's not many of those stalling carries, I guess is the way to put it, left out there. Maybe EG just goes full in team fight now and actually contest early game like really aggressively.
What about something like a TA for EG? It doesn't really fit with their heroes super well, I guess. It's okay against Lina, I would say. Decent against Monkey King sometimes, but
yeah, I think it's fine for Lina.
If the lane stage goes bad, you hit up the jungle, which is not at all rough. Invoker is still in the pool. So it could be an Invoker pick, but you certainly don't get it now. Not against the Silencer. The hero's great against the Phoenix, Earthshaker, or Spirit Tricore there, or those 3 picks. That, I think, puts a big wrench in EG's teamfight plans, because their picks so far are pretty much about their teamfight going well.
So what synergizes well with that? Do you think the SF goes in there?
BKB hero could be good. SF definitely could work, I suppose. But maybe there's...
You'd assume that they won't go Invoker now?
I assume not, yeah. I mean, Sumail had to buy an early BKB last game, and it definitely impacts things.
What about a Timber?
No, I think that's still vulnerable too. There's so much burst damage. Silence is still pretty good against Timber. They need somebody that can deal with like Lina well and Silencer well. Maybe something good at gap closing. I think TA is looking alright, but obviously it doesn't match up well against Silencer. Not that it would be a mid Silencer, it would be Lina probably, but could
does
maybe
look
work.
like they're discussing a Sumail hero at this point as well.
Okay.
Well, okay, slightly different then. They're going to go with the Ursa.
So it's kind of same vein, like lots of single target physical damage, but Ursa's obviously a lot more survivable than TA.
Yeah.
So I like the Ursa pick.
The Centaur was a really big problem pick, and there was no Lifestealer for you to be able to counter that Centaur with, because it was banned out in the first one too. So Ursa is probably the best other safe laning hero that deals with Centaur. And you're gonna be an early BKB buyer. It's a fighting hero for sure. I'm still not fully set on what EG can get. I think SF is probably the other big brawling hero that allows you, because I don't think you can play the slow style and then, because the Silencer screws your reaction, right? So you play a slow style hero, a slow style core that buys a lot of time, and occasionally you have to play reactively to them initiating on you. So then they jump on a core, you like Phoenix Dive and Earthshaker stun, all that sort of thing. But Silencer kills that. So you have to actually be the one setting the pace of the game because of this Silencer pick. And I think the only hero, like, you need a high ground hero at that point in time for EG. So TA and SF are the best when it comes to single target physical damage and beating down towers.
I really do like the Ursa though. It makes their tri lane so much better too. Like it makes Phoenix and Earth Spirit's lack of damage look completely fine because they both have control. So
yeah, so they're gonna go for what here is the question. It's been a tricky draft for EG.
Yeah. I think SF something in that vein is good, especially BKB carrier would be ideal to solve the silencer problem as fast as possible. Looks like Sumail's ready to go. That was a I'm about to play.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's
so
that's a little risky.
they still grab it. You know, I think the big advantage of grabbing Invoker here is that it sets tempo, whereas SF doesn't. SF is very pressurable.
Yep.
He could just get wrecked in the mid lane with a little bit of Monkey King ganks, but now they're at least going to be able to rely on Sunstrikes. And that could be a huge deal for these early game rotations. So maybe the idea is set tempo with Invoker. That way we can maybe delay their 5-man if we have a good laning stage.
Yep, Weaver versus an Ursa. I think that was definitely the pick. They couldn't go the same kind of hard carry they did last time. Honestly, I think IG is incredibly good at drafting.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they're so solid. They took advantage of the last pick really well here with a similar kind of lineup. They could have gone for the hard carry based on what the last pick was from EG, but instead they needed something that's a bit more active and just have a 1-to-1 counter, right? So have your carry counter the enemy carry. Weaver versus Ursa is quite classic.
All right, we'll get more from both Capitalist and Purge at the end of this game. It's a huge game for Evil Geniuses in terms of DAC because if they win this one, they have a shot at making the top 4 positions in the upper bracket. Lose, and they are definitely in the lower bracket. Let's rejoin Toby, Wine and Malini.
Well, as Paul said, there's a lot on the line, and Invictus Gaming, they look like they got a very well-rounded and very countering draft against Evil Geniuses.
IG have been very solid in drafting throughout this whole tournament.
Yep.
And EG, they need to save some face, pick up at least one win. Their upper bracket dreams are dashed.
Yep. It's still going to be a rough run, even if they do get this one game, but keep our hope alive in some kind of way.
Confidence boost. Here we go.
But it looks rough, and again, we're going to have this mid matchup. Like you look at the Lina going up against the Invoker. Is it going to work this time around? You've got Baboka over on that Monkey King. His rotations were wonderful last time around, and again, you're expecting more of the same in this game.
I'm worried about Silencer. Silencer owns their lineup.
Yeah.
Badly.
Yeah. Silencer is definitely going to be problematic, to say the least.
I thought they were going to also pick a right-clicker BKB hero in the mid lane, which is why IG banned out TA, I believe, last. TA has one of the best matches versus Lina. I actually think TA would have been really, really good for them. But
yeah, they decided. Did they decide against it or was banned out, you said?
it was banned out.
Yeah.
It was actually what a lot of teams used against Lina when Lina was really popular at TI5. Because you don't care about the burst, and Lina has a lot of trouble versus the refraction charges, and also their lineup's not particularly good at taking down refraction charges. I guess Curse at a Silent is probably the best one.
Well, if we start, they should get that Sentry Ward in range of the Observer Ward. There's one so close, yet so far away. So Invictus Gaming, we were talking about it in game number 1, just how great their vision game has been. Now, a little bit more of an uncharacteristic Observer Ward just off to the side of the mid. Should give a lot of warning bells, at least.
That's what Monkey King does. Everyone's scared. IG 1, 2, 3 bounty runes. It's like, oh god, Monkey King's here. What do we do, guys?
That's, I guess, the only safe one. Is that when you feel a little bit odd with the pickup of the Phoenix? Because what's the Phoenix really meant to achieve? What's Zai's real job? We've seen Zai with these wonderful stun initiating / control heroes. Now you get the Phoenix in the first 2. How does he make this hero work in their lineup of EG?
Cut down trees? I don't know.
that's the secret.
Why are people picking Phoenix?
I don't know.
Sunray is okay, I suppose, but ever since they changed the magical, it's not been the best. They have ways to deal with the egg, even, I would say. Lina, really fast attack speed and massive range. That's kind of your worst nightmare as a Phoenix, unless it's a troll or a Meepo, which are slightly worse, but still on the same tier.
Yeah, troll is what you were thinking might have also been coming up. Also note, too, that EG did try and split the lanes up a little bit and change things up by putting Arteezy on the bottom lane, and that leaves Universe on the top. Universe was going to get harassed out almost guaranteed if he tried to run the offlane. So they put Arteezy in that position instead. Crit, try and initiate into OP. The mana burn's going to do some good work.
Ooh, some good old Quas Wex Invoker.
No
coming
Exile
out.
point early on.
Well, he was tired of getting dumpstered in lane by Monkey King plus Lina, so this is a much better build when you're actually afraid of early pressure. Universe, no mana for you, sir. No shrine for you, sir. What does Universe do now? He has no mana.
That's a good question. Burning doesn't have a hell of a lot of life, however, so Consumable's going to have to start to be consumed up on the top.
Yes, Quelling Blade, Universe, not chopping trees. I have seen teams just like chop down trees everywhere. It's like, you know, what Timbersaw dreams of if he didn't have a great skill set at already killing trees. But maybe you can get Iron Talon plus Quelling Blade and just chop the trees down with Battle Fury, Octarine Core.
You become the hybrid Beastmaster. It's like dual-wielding axes.
That'd be sick. Beastmaster's great at killing trees.
Yeah, he would be a fantastic pickup. Even then, you could probably even throw him into the jungle and get a little bit more experience at this early point of the game. Somehow committing with just harassment, Cold Snap. I don't think OP really cares too much about that. And this mid lane CS, it's 11-3 up against 5-6. So even with the creep wave underneath the tower, Sumail is still, again, behind in the CS. But I suppose this is to be expected when you go in the Quas Wex build on the Invoker.
Yep, you know, wins most matchups. But I do like the Quas Wex. I think he realized how difficult life was for him when he has to play a little bit greedily against Alina plus Monkey King. And Monkey King isn't even anywhere to be seen in this lane. It's like, it's not even worth my time. I can just mess with Arteezy or Universe, whoever's up here.
Yeah, and they actually just switched the lane, so Arteezy is on top lane, and Universe TP down to bottom shrine. So he's now on the bot.
Well, that's a good lane matchup for Centaur. Centaur's like, yes, get this bear out of my lane. I'm happy to be versus Earthshaker.
The Centaur's already had a great lane. He's #1 in CS. Like, it's a 16-11 Centaur War Runner at the moment. There's a reason why both the Magnus and the Centaur were banned out in the first phase by EG last time.
You can't ban out XSS, man.
You really can't. You talk about the depth of the heroes of IG. I know OP kind of came under scrutiny a little bit with some of his heroes, but the real unsung hero for this team is still going to be XXS.
He should have been MVP last game, or at least tied.
Yeah, next to Baboka. Those guys did so much work.
XX Baboka. Boka. He's great at Monkey King. His Monkey King's different this game. It's not blue.
Was he changing his gems halfway through?
You have different styles for the Arcana, so he's just switching out, man. He gets tired. Cosmetics matter, Toby.
Obviously it does to him, or else he wouldn't be doing such a thing. However, the leader cosmetic, I think, is still one of the greatest ones. Like the Iron Man style costume for OP.
What about the Indiana Jones? What about the Indiana Jones one?
Well, as long as we don't add a set to Conquer where he starts making a boulder roll down, I'm okay with it. Top lane, that's a good Sunray Q. Losing life way too quickly, so the silencer will fall. Even with the curse, EG commit heavily, but they do find the first blood on that safe lane.
Crit's getting a lot more done this game than last game on the Earth Spirit. It is really important that he does move around, because I mean, you can only do so much on the Phoenix. You generally need to combo it with people.
The lane seemed to be a lot more simpler for him too. Like roll up towards the top lane. That's a perfect kick. Drop Baboka down. And now they may have just enough damage. Keep him on the ground. Don't let him take to the trees. And Arteezy will find the kill.
That is how you deal with Monkey King. Apparently his styles unlock as you level up in the game.
Oh.
I didn't know that. That's a weird one.
The stronger the king gets, the more royalty.
But he turns bluer. Isn't like purple?
Purple the royal color?
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
he's
know.
like purple like level 3 ultimate. I'm not sure. But he has apparently 4 different colors. One for when you start the game. One at level 1 ultimate, one at level 2 ultimate, one at level 3.
As Crit getting involved once more. So it's good for EG, they find the kills, but we have to keep in mind that was kills on 2 supports. Universe is still very much behind, 18-0 against his counterpart at 38-21, and Arteezy's on the run. Burning has the second highest CS, and if he can claim with Shikuchi forward, he's going to take the life. In fact, it's going to be Baboka who takes that life of Arteezy, and +2.
Don't make Arteezy even stupider. He has low intel right now.
Right,
He's at 18 intel. I'm talking about his intelligence in-game, Toby. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know if you thought like he became Samson, shaved off his beard, and then then life just becomes instantly difficult for him.
Does it have some sort of magical power?
Well, if you know the story of Samson, yes, okay, Rock's missing, Tornado misses from Sumail, and because these abilities don't connect, OP may survive. He turns around and takes Zai out as well. Critical misses, and IG punish.
Nice Stampede usage too. XSS was ready for that one. But Zai was at that great range where you can turn no matter how Alina tries to juke. If you're too close, the turn radius is a little bit too slow. But he had plenty of stick charges, and he had a rain drop that wasn't even used because they missed all their magic spells. So that was unfortunate.
That's something EG just have to shrug off and focus on the task at hand, and that's murder. Baboka going to be their primary target. Have to keep that damage on him again. Keep him on the ground, but Monkey King takes to the tree lines. The fire sprites fly out, but he'll move up, he'll move down and around.
They don't even have the Quelling Blade on RTC, so he can't even chop down the trees if he wanted to. I usually see a lot of carries get Quelling Blade if you're against Monkey. Even if you don't need the plus damage versus creeps, you still get it just so you can make his life potentially very miserable if you cut down that right tree.
Instead of relying on crit to kick the tree roots out.
Yeah.
And crit's coming back up to the top lane. But it's still very problematic. Universe is forced off the lane. He's at 1,700 net worth to the 3.1k of the Centaur. That Blink Dagger is going to come up even faster. The fact that they had Stampede for that mid-fight was already like something EG was probably going to be accepting of.
Oh god, he already has Hood? Oh man, that's pretty scary. I wonder if he's actually going to take the Mana Regen talent. They often pair up the Centaur with these Crystal Maidens, so it's a no-brainer to get the damage. But now that he doesn't have Crystal Maiden anymore, will he take the Mana Regen? Probably not. I've seen most of them just take damage because it helps you farm faster, but I don't know, you already have Hood. Debatable.
We'll cross the bridge when he gets to it. For now, he's just enjoying the very much freedom of bottom lane, knowing that Universe cannot zone him out. The ES just doesn't have the kill potential at the moment.
He had to shuffle around lanes too many times. He started off bottom and then went top and then went bottom, so you're going to be at a gold disadvantage because you have TP around, and you're going to be at an XP disadvantage because you're having to miss so many creeps.
That's why it just feels so much more structured and confident from IG. Like, even when the first 2 kills went the way of EG, it still feels like overall Invictus Gaming's laning phase is stable. Like, the only rotations they have are the supports moving around to change things up. Exactly. Yeah, Crit was fantastic. He was helping out Sumail in the mid, but the top and the bottom lanes is more chaotic for Evil Geniuses.
Oh, Boboka. What a clown. That's some good-natured, in-game bad-mannered.
It's bad manners until he properly hits the stun. Sumail gets caught out too close to the Lina, and then he's dead. Because it's the burst damage you get from Laguna.
They are smoke-ganking him. Sumail will make a detour for that, but XSS. He has a Hood, though, and Stampede. This is not going to be easy.
Well, at least Sumail's going to get the vision, and, well, Cold Snap, and Stampede gets off, starts his run up. Still hasn't even triggered the Hood yet. Crit will run through. Baboka is here, and the fissure from Universe, that still won't be enough. Jump down, and it's actually Zai who dies. EG are the initiators. Crit's on the run, but he has got a Scarab Beetle on the back, infesting in, and Burning will take the kill.
Downsides of Quaswex, no damage.
Yep. And that's the roaming gang from EG. Like, is that a low chance of working? Like, what really went wrong there? They had the vision on the Centaur.
They didn't ban Centaur.
Okay, yeah, that's... Unfortunately, this game doesn't function with 20 bans.
You asked what went wrong, Toby.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually banned they banned the Abaddon as opposed to the Centaur in the first 2.
I much favor XSS on the stun offlaners. He's really good at setting things up for his team. So yeah, I mean that's just something to consider about. But yeah, with the Hood first, it's just like okay.
It seems so happy as well for him. Like, how many out of the IG games we've cast? I think there's only been one game where he hasn't had the one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, they do give him pretty favorable. I mean, last game he had Nixes and he was zoned out kind of early, but he still managed to catch up quite nicely. But yeah, this game he's definitely set up for success, and I think Q has been spot on with his rotations as a silencer and just making his life very, very easy. He's sitting behind Santa right now just in case they think about trying to stop his Blink Dagger timing. So did he pick up a point exort? He has. So Invoker looks like a 4-4-1 build. Pretty unusual for Invokers. I usually see 3 in Quas when they go for Quas Wex, and then they transition into either more Wex or then Exhort, but 4 Quas is quite a lot of Quas.
Burning's Invis is wearing out now. So he could potentially throw out the Beatles, just harassing Arteezy and making sure Arteezy never feels comfortable on this map. Something game 1 Arteezy had to get used to was the Clinks.
What did he take? Oh, he took Mana Regen. Okay, that's good.
So balance out the fact that you didn't have the CM.
Yeah, Mana Regen's nice. Never really have to go home. But he doesn't have Tranks. That's actually kind of nice for him, too. He doesn't need the Tranks because he already has the hood.
Do you change up a Lina build as well? Obviously, you're still going to go for the Bloodstone, but do you look for like more regeneration on her because you don't have the Crystal Maiden? We've been seeing OP mainly going for like the Aghanim Scepter.
Bloodstone gives you enough Mana Regen.
That's enough?
Yeah. And I think you really need Shadow Blade, because Shadow Blade allows you to kill the Invoker, which helped them win the game last game. I think you still need that.
Boca, can he actually do this solo?
Oh,
He goes for the stun, but Zai is able to get the Icarus dive off, but Burning, he knows Zai can't go anywhere. So a kill is still the kill, the rolling boulder forward, but the kick, it's going to be right on target, able to do so. The silence held him in place, the EMP burn will help out, and Crit is already starting his TP. Right underneath them as Burning was on his way into. Samel has to hide under Ghost Walk. They know he's there, but no detection for Invictus Gaming.
he does have an Arcane Rune, so Tornado's going to cool down way earlier than normal, but it's only up for a
He's
little
got
bit
no
longer.
friends. Like
They have no
he's got no
damage.
damage.
They have no damage. Where's the damage? A lot of setup.
Well, it's meant to be the Ursa, right? Like, that's...
Yeah, a little bit from
He's-
Phoenix, too, with the Sunray.
Okay, you got help. Earth Spirit's on the way. He needs to get the proper kick, and maybe just with Cold Snap, it's going to be enough. Samel gets the solo kill. Unfortunately, Silencer is a lot more powerful and holds on to the intelligence. No +2 for Smart Invokers.
I wonder if Invoker's going to, if Sumail's going to take the +15 damage talent. He hasn't taken a talent yet. Just valuing more points in Exhort once the solo kill potential from Alacrity Cold Snap. But a lot of the time I do see the HP just because Invokers, they don't build HP. You only get it from your Scepter pretty much.
Well, the smoke up from the Ursa being purchased, so
He doesn't have life steal,
turns
though.
your attention a little bit towards Roshan.
How are they going to do it without life steal? Who's going to take it for him?
I would say you could use Phoenix, but that's going to be a pretty obvious thing if there's a single Radiant Observer Ward around the pit.
The Fire Spirit's not as good versus Roshan now that the attack.
Bottom lane, Blink is up, and goodbye, Monkey King. 4 swipes, instant enrage from Arteezy. And IG will look for a bit of back trade-off if they can take out the tier 1 tower. The kick goes off with a Stampede and Horvstomp. Perfect! Catching out two. Phoenix as well as Samel. Samel's on the run. Silenced up. Can't do anything to stop it. Another double edge.
What a monster.
He really is.
They missed the Boulder Smash, though, after the Tornado. He tried a Tornado into EMP, into Boulder Smash, but they weren't able to connect with the Boulder Smash, so then Weaver was just able to run away. But yeah, great positioning by the Centaur, and making very good use of his early farm. Ursa was not able to transition into a tower kill on bottom, and things are back to how they were just a couple minutes ago, minus the T1 in the mid.
So both teams reveal the early Blink daggers. One team gets 2 kills, the other one gets 1. And
the tower.
And the tower. Not to mention, it was a support and a core for Invictus Gaming and just a support for EG. And IG are going again. Hey, why not? Yeah, you don't have Stampede. Arteezy's going to be close, but not close enough to trigger the smoke.
It's pretty unusual that he's farming right there.
But Crit's really close. Baboka jumps up, and goodbye, Crit. He was on a warding mission.
They're doing a really good job of controlling this area. This area is what you want to do versus an Ursa. Ursa does not have a lifesteal, as they probably have already figured out as he revealed his Blink Dagger on the bottom lane, but you just need to prevent him from getting that first Rosh. And they don't have a good Roshan lineup, but you still have to worry about them tanking with like Forge Spirits, let's say, and Sumail giving him Alacrity to take on the Rosh. Things are still possible, and Roshan was almost IG's Bane last game.
I was kind of looking to see IG having more aggressive vision, but most of it was, even with the smoke. Yeah, I think EG is looking for the same thing with the Sentry Wall they put on top of the Shrine. They're wondering where IG left the vision after they went for the smoke.
Oh, he's going Blink hard?
What, straight into Heart?
That's what he has on Quick Buy. Usually you'd see Scepter at this point. I think even the ability to run over trees is very useful.
Oh, Samael. Tornado's going to connect. He's still silenced up, and with the Stampede running forward, there's your bonus damage and a quick jump to slap. Baboka kills secures on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Burning is on the run. TZ would like to catch up to him, but they don't have enough control. You've still got time-lapse available for Burning, and EG just cannot hold him in position long enough to kill him.
They were trying to sneak Roche, bait out Sumail, force Hero's bottom. If he dies, whatever, they get Roshan. But IG's too wise for your shenanigans, EG.
How do you even keep doing the damage on Ursa? That's almost a fully completed Diffusal Blade over on Burning. Like, how is Ursa meant to keep up?
I'm not sure, especially because he's building Vanguard.
Okay.
He wants a Abyssal later, I suppose, which is pretty good. But you have mobility issues. Global Silence is even like pretty problematic for him, not to mention Stampede. So let's see.
Isn't that when like you looked at the Aghanim Scepter, you look for something to dispel? It's
usually I would say Basher is fine for him, so you can just get a lot of solo kills, and it's decent for team fights. So like, you know, if you get a lucky bash on the Weaver, he can't pop his ult. If you get a good bash on the Silencer, he can't pop his ult. So but it looks like he just wants to tank up for perhaps Sumail to do more damage in the team fights. Sumail didn't lose any gold there. He bought his Staff of Wizardry right before he died, and he had reliable gold from Midas. So all in all, economically, it was not that poor for EG, but they're still looking for opportunities to get Roche. It's been 18 minutes in, and only one attempt has been made.
Well, how do you still take Roshan? IG, you still don't know where their observer wards are. You committed 3 sentries around your own shrine trying to find that vision from Invictus Gaming, and they didn't put anything down for it. And in fact, now it's just XXS just jumping straight through it and finding the Invoker.
That was so greedy, tornadoing creeps right there. He, as soon as he did that and he saw the Invoker, he's like, what? Or and then he saw the sensor, he's like, what have I done? So blink reveal from Earthshaker coming out pretty soon. I would say 18 minutes is a pretty good timing considering his start. But IG are unrelenting in their control of this top half of the map. They are just shutting down the Ursa completely. And Ursa, he hasn't been able to get many kills. He hasn't been getting Roche. And you do not want to be in a farm war as an Ursa at all.
Yep. This isn't a war, man. This is a slaughter. You don't have Ursa with anywhere to farm on the map. You just lost your tier 2 tower. That aggressive vision from IG after that successful gank on the Invoker is now down. So even if you go into your jungle to farm there, Invictus Gaming will know about it.
They're mass TPing to the bottom lane. Looks like they're trying to make a move onto perhaps a Centaur.
You don't have the Blink Echo Slam, so there's no instant control on the Centaur. And Burning is also rotated up, so the Fissure will go on to Burning.
Oh, the Fissure just revealed their positioning, though.
Yep. But they brought everyone. It's like they want the fight to happen here.
They're
all
still
5
global
heroes down for EG.
Q, is he going to be able to hit a clutch global? That is the question. He's ready, I believe.
Are they going to bring everyone else down? Like, Lena is still not on the bottom lane.
Do you really
That's when you start, like, she
global?
doesn't actually have a TP scroll either.
It's a scary place for EG.
That's like they try to force the fight, reveal their position early on. They don't get it. XXS actually thinks EG is further forward, hence he went for the blind blink into the tree line, hoping to find something that EG was planning, some kind of trap, but EG's already backed out after being the ones to drag the attention to bot lane.
He's just wondering what they're doing over there. It's like, well, there are just 5 over here farming out 1 creep wave.
Doesn't make sense, right?
That did not make sense at all. But they didn't the Lena and the Silencer didn't TP because they thought it might be another maneuver to try and drag them away from Roche. So they always have Roche in the back of their mind, and they're not letting that slip. I do like that play and vigilance from IG.
And how many sentry wards been wasted by EG? They threw down another one looking for the Observer ward in the mid lane. But they're not finding, I don't think when was the last time we saw a Radiant Observer ward actually dewarded?
One of the benefits of having Monkey King, you don't need smokes to place Observer ward. It's kind of like old school Riki.
This is now just becoming the Baboka ward.
Yeah.
Every time he throws it down, and it's every time against the dire side Invoker of EG. And they're going to go for Roshan themselves. Double damage rune on Burning.
That is the best rune for them right now. If they take this away from EG have very few ways to make big plays into the game.
Icarus dive down. It's just to put an Observer ward on top of the Radiant Sentry ward that's already there. So if they want to get rid of it, they can do so.
That is really disheartening.
And now
for
you're
EG.
also going to lose the Earth Spirit in mid.
You lost your Obs, you lost your Roche, you lost your crit.
Things are falling apart. Like, at the seams. This is...
It was completely unexpected they would be able to take it down that fast. From EG's point of view, there's like no way they could do Roche that quickly, and they Sunstruck. Like ideally, it'd probably be around like 40% health. They can TP their Shrine and go in with Tornado to sweep things up. But with the TD, it's
The TPs are coming in. They want to try and fight Arteezy. So Maboka starts with his stun, then the jump down, throws out the ultimate, the TP's out. Arteezy not able to complete in time, and no buyback is available.
That was actually a mistake on Arteezy's part. He didn't ult before he TP'd. It would have saved him for sure, but I don't think they had any other stuns yet. They used Global, they used Hoof Stomp, they used Boundless Strike, so that was it. But that was a great silence though, because Boboka scouted out the Earthshaker, waiting for them to go on the Ursa. It's ridiculous how on top of their game IG are right now.
They're really reading this map perfectly.
Plus 125 health for Invoker.
And then you see him again. Okay, this time around, that's the better way to do it. Icarus dive through, find the Monkey King out of position, and Samel's Sunstrike will get the kill.
Nice kill for them. Got to repel this Monkey King somehow. But he's still done incredible amounts of work.
Yeah.
Man, Porta's Eye, look at his net worth. Oh, man. 1,300?
Yeah, it's a very, very sad Phoenix. There's definitely no doubt about that.
He can hope for level 15 for 150 GPM.
You know, the really sad thing is, though, like we talk about, like, the kill on the bottom lane. Okay, you just killed off the Monkey King, but you're still killing off the support Monkey King while the top 3 net worths on the field all belong to Radiant side. And, well, goodbye, Crit. He just got deleted. 15 Bloodstone charges now out for the Lina.
Look at that mana regen, 26.
And now it's going to be bottom lane. Universe just jumped in, so Burning, hot on his tail, support's coming in, and with the Diffuser Blade charge, there's just no way to run away. It's such a, like, there's no maneuverability for this Earthshaker. He still wants to get the Force stuff up and running, but he can't outrun a Weaver.
Not at all. Can't TP away either, because they have the Monkey King there to hit with the Boundless Strike in case anyone's trying to make...
Arteezy and Xayah underneath the Observer Ward.
Centaur did commit for the Reaver, by the way. I'm pretty surprised he went for the Reaver, but...
He's committing for heart. It's all in, man.
Yeah, they can't kill him. The only way they can kill him is if Ursa has a lot of uptime on him, but I don't think that's going to happen.
It seems to make a lot of sense, though, for IG going into the base, where OP and Burning can just sit on the back lines, and then this really tanky Centaur sits on the front line. It gives you your vision of high ground, and let's Lina do the work. Because OP's having the time of his life at the moment. No one's able to get close enough to him to really do the damage. Like, you're going to rolling boulder forward, get the silence quickly into Invis. Sentry Ward is down on the back lines. Silencer controlled up, but he's still got the global silence off. Centaur got there just in the nick of time, and Universe is now the one on the retreat. You can Sunray all you want, Zai, but Burning will stand its ground. He'll bring you down, and the sole survivor from Evil Geniuses will be slaughtered, and the good game is called. Not even 25 minutes on the clock. And Evil Geniuses, they admit defeat.
How do you ban versus IG? That was just plain flat out destruction that we saw coming out from IG. What a team. Boboka and XXS again.
He's perfect. Like, you can't take out both the Monkey King and the Earth Spirit within the first 2, and he's legit awesome on both, and then you've still got the issues of the offlaner. XXS is in there. OP's got his wonderful supply of heroes he can go for.
Vanguard first Ursa too. Theoretically, it's not that bad versus Geminate attack on Weaver and fast attack speed Lina, but still, they didn't have any damage.
Yeah, definitely felt a little odd. Where was the factor of Arteezy?
Congratulations to IG though.
Yeah, they get to #1 out of their group stage. Congratulations to them. Definitely can't wait to see more of them in the main event, but for now, we can't wait to see more of our panel.
Oh, that's so nice of him. It can be nice after all. Thanks very much, Toby and Malini, for the opening game of the day. What a fantastic victory for IG. They secure top spot in their group and a place in the semi-finals of the upper bracket of the main event, which will take place in 3 days from now. Back with Purge and Capitalist. Purge, what do you make of that?
IG is an insanely good team.
Yeah.
That is just super obvious now.
I think we found OG's match right now, because we were sort of wondering, weren't we, yesterday? OG looks so good. Is there anyone that can step up and match them for these skills and brilliance? And I think we found a team that could.
Could be IG. I think the one thing that IG does really good is pressure, definitely. The amount of ganks they put on, the chain disables, the heroes that they combo together to make pressure and get advantage is really good for them. I don't know if it'll match up perfectly against OG because OG is very defensive, but I think IG is going to be a great pairing to go into the winner bracket.
Yeah, at least we found a team that could compete with them. Because yesterday I was worried. I was thinking, wow, this could be an OG stomp this tournament.
I do really like the fact that you brought up OG, because I was thinking to myself while I was watching this game is that EG, they play defensive, somewhat like OG does, but the way they do it is differently. OG will oftentimes play around one real carry, and what they'll do with their other 4 heroes is either be actively creating space, or when it's time to play more conservative, they'll play like they'll farm around that hero, and they'll form like sort of a half circle. So when those smoke ganks come in, it always runs into a different hero of OG that is not their primary carry. Here, you saw multiple times that IG made smoke rotations, successful ones, into the jungle that catches the Invoker, because the thing is about EG is when they're playing conservatively, they're playing super farm efficient, which means they don't have that kind of protective ring around Sumail or anything like that. They're just playing to get everybody kind of farm and you know, usually in 2 or 3 teams of farming packs where they're kind of all over the map. So it was very susceptible to IG's movements, and IG, I mean, I just simply think they also had him outdrafted. I think they locked on instantly to what EG was going to do with that the 3-4 bans. I think Naga Siren, Dusa was absolutely the kind of playstyle that EG was searching for this round against the Lena draft.
Good sign of a good team, though, isn't it? When they're spotting it in the draft,
they're
and they're then
super
executing
smart.
perfect team fights and great support play in that game as well, as Toby mentioned. So they've got almost everything going for them at the moment.
Yeah, they really do. There was another play that I was talking to Kevin about, that one Bobica play where he sets up preemptively. Like, it was such a cool idea that they take this Roshan, they find this pick off in mid, and then they use that opportunity, push 2 top, 2 mid, and then Bobica preemptively sets up in the bottom lane. Hasn't even seen a hero yet necessarily, just knows that's naturally where EG is going to orient to because they need the farm. He sets up preemptively. Sure enough, when Arteezy as the Ursa shows up at there, boom, he already has the positioning for the gank. He just needs a TP rotation. That kind of play is exactly how IG are so fast in their movement around the map. It's why they're able to catch some of these teams off guard with, they just feels like they're everywhere, you know, that you don't have a good place to farm because they're constantly all over the place. They gank you top, you gank you bottom. You know, there isn't,